Hello, my friends. It is Jessica. This is I Read to Relax. Welcome. Welcome back. Hopefully you're here not for the first time, but if you are, I am happy to have you here. And I am here today with the May book haul. So these are all the books that I have accumulated since my last book haul in April. Let's check out what books I have gotten one way or another since last month. So the first one is actually the book I will be starting next. I am super excited for this one, and I am just trying to finish a book before I pick this one up. But this is Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke. And this one I'm sure you've heard of because everybody is talking about it right now. The main character is a trad wife influencer. So she is a person who goes on social media and basically romanticizes life in the very traditional vein. So homeschooling her kids, raising chickens, making bread from scratch, doing all the things in the most traditional way. One day she wakes up and she's actually in the 1800s and has to live the life in the non-romanticized version of what she was selling to people previously. I have heard a lot of things about this one. I've heard it sparks a ton of conversations, and I am very excited because I think that's such an interesting concept. So I can't wait for this one. The next book that I got is one that I have not seen, I don't think anybody actually read and discuss, but this is The Palace of Illusions by Rowena Miller, and I read The Fairies of Prospect Hill by The Fairy Bargains of Prospect Hill by the same author, and absolutely loved it. So I've been wanting to read another one from her, and this one sounded like it was going to be really interesting. So the tagline says, "New technologies and inventions hold Paris spellbound at the dawn of the 20th century, but innovation is not without costs, and the true magic of the City of Light is about to be revealed." I really liked her writing style. She writes about, fairies and that kind of thing. So, again, like a Parisian setting. I just think I think this one's gonna be good. Next, I got something that is not my usual kind of read. I actually saw I don't know if it was a movie. I think it's a movie, a TV movie that they adapted from this. The 5-Star Weekend by Ellen Hildebrand. And I saw the preview and thought it looked interesting. And so I was like, you know what, I'll read the book and then I can watch the movie. This one says, 5 Friends, 5 Secrets, a Vacation That Will Change Everything. All of her books, I believe, are set in Nantucket. And I just think like this will be a great, leading into summer read. The next one that I got is a special edition, and this is one of the Bridgerton set, and it actually has 2 of the novels in it. It has Eloise and Francesca's novels. So To Sir Philip with Love and When He Was Wicked. And I just got done last week watching season 4 of Bridgerton, and let me tell you, I've loved every season so far. I honestly think that even now still, season 2 was my personal favorite, and I have the book for season 2. I want to read it and see how different it is from the show. But season 4, every single episode of season 4 made me cry. Made me cry in the good way, made me cry in the bad way, made me break my heart, made my heart swell with joy. Like there were just, it was like the writers this season just were intent on wringing every single emotion they could out of every single scene in the season. And so I really, really enjoyed Benedict's story. But I really love Eloise. and I want to read her story before her season comes out, which they're I think continuing to put it off, which is good. But Francesca's season, I believe, has confirmed to be next. So I figured by getting this one, I'm getting both the two that I want to read next in one, and I'm gonna try and read them before I watch them. So we'll see. This is just such a pretty edition of this with the two Bridgerton books in it. And it's got these sprayed edges and pretty end papers. So I got this not just because it was the 2-in-1, but because it was also a pretty book that would sit on my shelf. I'm super excited for this one. This is the special edition, quote unquote. And what I have for the Rose Bargain is the Barnes & Noble like exclusive edition. And it's a white cover rather than the pink cover, but it's got the big ring on it. And I should have pulled it out to show you guys, but that it's okay. Just, it's a white cover. And the Barnes & Noble exclusive cover for the Thorn Queen, I believe, is purple, but I didn't like the way that they changed the cover. And then I didn't like the regular Thorn Queen cover as much. And so I decided, of all of them, like, if I'm going to put them together on my shelf, I like this cover. I don't love these specific sort of rainbow metallic edges. They don't really do much for me, but I did really like this green with the giant ring. And then it does have a very pretty naked hardcover. So that's why I spent, I think it was $2 extra to get this specific edition. But I will be reading this one soon because I'm very excited to find out what happens next there as well. I got myself the special edition of Fury Bound by Sable Sorensen, because although I have not read Dire Bound yet, I'm hoping to read it in the next few months. I did get the one that had the sprayed edges and the special edition with the artwork and everything. So I suddenly got nervous that if I loved it and I wanted to read the second one, because I think I will, that they wouldn't have the edition that looked the same, the matching one. So I ordered it now, even though I haven't read the first one, and I'm trying really hard not to do that anymore, but I just, something triggered in my brain and I had to do it. So this is Fury Bound. It's got the pretty edges. It's got a quote on the front. It says, "Only a monster can lead me out of the dark." And it's got a really pretty spine as well. And then these editions have gorgeous artwork on the end pages. I mean, look at that. That is just beautiful. And then I think it's different. It is different on the back. You know, unfortunately, I don't really know anything about these characters yet. I'm assuming this is our main character, Mare, and her direwolf that she has to bond with in the first book. But I am very excited to get to these soon, and now I have both that are out, which is nice. Hopefully it's worth the investment. You know, we're getting better. We're getting better about, I very, very rarely buy like a sequel anymore without having read the first one. I'm more likely to do it if they're on deals for like ebooks or audiobooks, because I don't have to physically store them. But I used to get burned where I would buy multiple books in a series and then I would read them and not really like them. And then I'm just having to figure out, do I keep this because I feel guilty? Do I donate them somewhere? I've wasted the money on them. So I'm trying very hard not to do that anymore. And I've gotten a lot better. I will still 100% of the time buy like the first book in a series if I think I'm going to like it. And then if I get burned, at least it was only one. Plus, I don't very often buy multiple editions of books because I just don't have the storage space for them. So I don't feel too bad about buying like a pretty edition of a book because it's going to be the only edition of the book that I have. So, like this. So, I have been listening to the audiobooks of the Mistborn, the original Mistborn trilogy for the first time. But I had gotten given the first book in the trilogy, The Final Empire, book 1, in the, I think this is the 10th anniversary. Yeah, these are the 10th anniversary editions. And I really, really liked that it was sort of a special edition of the book. So I'm like 95% of the way through the audiobook for the second book, and I had gotten the 10th anniversary edition of the physical book to be able to keep pace with the audiobook and sort of be able to mark where I was. And this way I can go back and read them again at some point, because I will. And I will be starting the Hero of Ages probably next month. So I went ahead and got myself the physical book ahead of time because I wanted to get, again, the same edition. So now I have the 3 from the first trilogy in this edition. And so far I'm loving them. Once I finish this trilogy, I am going to read The Secret History, which is, the novella that I guess comes between Era 1 and Era 2 of the Mistborn books. And then I'll end up going on to the Wax and Wane, the Era 2 books. And I don't know, I'm going to wait until I read those, or at least the first one, to decide if I also want to collect those books physically. And if I do, in what edition I want, because I don't think that they did the same style for those 4. We'll see. So anyway, those were all the books that I got since last month's book haul video. Hopefully, I will be reading a lot of these sooner rather than later, because I am trying to sort of mitigate my book buying habit by enforcing the idea that if I buy it, I should read it not 3 years from now. If you did like this, hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment about which books you might be excited about. Did you get any amazing books in the last month or so? I'd love to hear which ones. And do you do special editions or just regular editions, or ebooks versus audiobooks versus print books, all of that stuff. So, okay, well, that's it for now. I will see you guys again soon, and happy reading. Bye.